Okay, I'd like to tie a lively leg pheasant tail variant. The fly is using a rubber leg material, a lively leg material, which gives it kind of a really buggy, realistic look. In the vise, I have a size 12, 4640, 60-degree bend jig hook. I'm going to coat the shank just right behind the eye with a little bit of super glue or Zap-A-Gap. And for thread, I'm going to be using a brown Vivas. And I made 3 wraps there right behind the bead. And I'm going to, for legs, I'm going to be using a brown medium rubber leg material. Okay, I'm going to tie that in right behind the eye. A couple 3 wraps is all I really need since I have the super glue there. Clip off the tag end of that rubber leg, make a couple more wraps just as sort of a ramp for the bead. I'll make about 2 turns of whip finish. And I'm going to cut off my thread. I'm readjust the hook into the vise. And to give the bead some security, a little bit more weight on the fly, I'm going to be using 15 thousandths lead wire. We'll make about 18 wraps. And I'll slide that forward. Again, push the bead as far as I can over the eye. And we'll tie that off. Bring our thread on down the shank. I'm not going to stop at the traditional point above the bar, but I'm going on down around the bend just slightly. Okay, for our tail, I'm going to be using the same kind of material that I used for the antenna. The brown rubber leg. Tied in right behind the lead. And we'll stretch it down the shank. Okay, we'll clip off the tag here. And for the ribbing, I'm going to be using some small copper wire. We'll tie it in. Try to get it underneath the shank as much as I possibly can. Smooth up the body just a little bit. Okay, for the body of the fly, I'm going to be using some peacock fibers. These are peacock tail fibers. Excuse me, not peacock, but pheasant tail fibers. I've got 6 or 7 here. Clip off the weak tips and tie them in. Okay, I'm going to bring my clip to clip them together. And I'm going to make just a little bit of a rope by twisting them together to give them some strength. Make just a slight twist every time I bring the fibers around the hook, around the shank. Okay, we'll clip those off. Counter wrap our wire ribbing. Give the pheasant tail fibers a little more strength. Okay, I'm going to clip my tails off about a gap, 2 gaps length. And I'm going to put in a 1/2 hitch. Okay, I'm ready to turn the fly over in the vise. And I'm ready to put in my wing pad. Okay, for the wing pad I'm going to be using some Swiss straw. This is kind of a tannish rusty color. Okay, for the thorax, I'm going to be using some prison dubbing. This is a olive brown. Going to lay just a slight layer of dubbing in the thorax area. This will help hold my lively legs in place. Okay, for the legs I'm going to be using a product that's called Lively Legs. These are a rubber leg material. This is for a size 14 or for a size 12. And the legs themselves look like this. I'm going to tie them by the tab right behind the bead. Couple wraps there, a couple wraps behind first set of legs, and a couple wraps behind the second set of legs. Okay, since the body of this is not very long, I'm only going to use 2 sets of legs. So I'm going to clip off that tag in the front and clip off the second set of legs in the back. Okay, I want to put just a little bit more dubbing. And here again, we want to keep it light, not real thick. Want to make sure those legs are seen, can be seen. The dubbing doesn't hide them. Two wraps behind the last set of legs, two wraps behind the middle legs, and two wraps behind the front. Okay, I'm going to bring my wing pad over. Tie it off. And clip it off. Okay, we'll whip finish. Clip off my thread. And I got a little bit of a saggler here. We'll see if we can get that off. Okay, in order to give this wing pad a little bit of support, I'm going to be putting on some hard as hell glue. Okay, and there we have the lively legs pheasant tail variant.